Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Samir Ansari, and I am a professor at Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, which is the leading and amongst one of the first skill development based institute in Maharashtra, India. So today we are presenting a webinar, Career Opportunities in Construction Engineering and Infrastructure Management. So just a quick guidelines before we get started. For maintaining integrity, quality and standard of the webinar, we have restricted the chat conversations for now and will be open at the end of the session for Q&A. So while my mentor, my guide, Dr. Jagdish speaks, I am here taking care of all your questions. So if in case we run short of time, feel free to mail me if in case we don't, unfortunately we don't answer any of your questions. Our presenter today is Dr. Jagdish Hote. He is a civil engineer and has varied experience in construction industry for past 41 years. So we are expecting that coming more 9 years, he'll be completing almost a half century in terms of experience. Anyways, he is one of the pioneer member of Anyati Group, which is one of the leading real estate organizations in Pune, which everyone knows. He works in the capacity of executive director and CEO, and he has played a vital role in developing landmark projects in residential sector, commercial, IT, institutional, and industrial complexes in and around Pune. He is responsible for setting systems and SOP in simple languages, and he has also written book A to Z of practical building construction and its management. He has also carried out a lot of research and development in building construction industry, and he has been also awarded with American Concrete Institute for research in concrete mix design. Apart from this, he is also member of All India Business Development Association, and there also he is awarded as Bharat Vikas Ratna Award in 2012. He is also awarded in Global Achievers Summit in 2013, which was held in Bangkok with the Asia Pacific International Award. He is also on various advisory committees for institutes like Builder Association of India, MHADA, and CREDAI. And if we talk in social terms, he is member of board of directors for Lions Club of India, Pune, and he's also making it. He's also ensuring that all the projects of Nyati Group are designed green building. In fact, their headquarters, that is Nyati Unitary, which is on Nagar Road, is a certified five-star platinum rated green building. When he came to Nyati, he made the company ISO certified in terms of quality management system, environmental management system, and safety. And he is also a doctorate, as I already said you. His name is Dr. Jagdish Hote. So he has completed his Doctor of Honors in Construction Methodology, and which was held by the Open International University of Colombo at Sri Lanka. So, without any further ado, we will turn the time over to Dr. Jagdish. And, sir, they are all yours and waiting for you, including me. We are all eager to hear from you. Yes, sir, please.
Huh? One kilo. Difference. That is not. आवाज है ना जोर शुरू करा किती बंद होते का किती बंद होते अरे ते आणि सायमेल्टेनियस नाही झालं क्योंकि कभी ना होगी खत्म ये जंग हर रोज नया दिशा कहने में तुम Namaskar. Friends, you all must be wondering why this video. Everybody is, very interested in looking at the cricket. We are looking at cricket since the ages, and cricket taught us a lot of things. I mean, when you observe any cricket game, you will get inspired for its a strategy, its planning, its estimation, in execution, and everything. Because cricket are just, I mean, you get a lot of inspiration from the cricket for the winning ultimately. Or even if you lose some games, you learn a lot of things from the game. This film, the Border Gavaskar Trophy 2021, is a very famous. Is known for its history. Why? Because when the seniors got injured, it was the time for the newcomers to showcase their skills and take charge of the situation. They were prepared, they were ready, and they performed. Construction industry is like a similar like a cricket game. You have to estimate, you have to strategize, you have to plan the your execution, and everything is more or less similar. Construction industry is the most challenging industry with a variety of skills and talents required. It's not only execution, it's not only planning, it's not only design. There is a lot of other parameters, other things required to complete the complete execution of any projects. Where there are challenges, there are always a opportunity. But are we prepared to grab the opportunity? What is a construction engineering? Construction engineering is a professional discipline that deals with the conceptualization. Sorry, there is some disturbance. So construction engineering is a professional discipline that deals with conceptualizing, designing, planning, operating, constructing, maintaining, and managing the projects in the public and private sector, including buildings, roads, tunnels, bridges, airports, railways, facilities, dams, and utilities. Construction engineering students take basic design course as well as the construction management courses, and some students also takes the project management courses also. Project management is definitely, it's a very big subject. It's not only restricted to the design or any kind of just planning or scheduling. Project management mostly deals from the head office to the actually execution sites. See, concept to completion, if you take any project or any building or any infrastructure projects, so there are a lot of windows of the opportunities. I mean, this opportunity I'm for any civil engineers. Civil engineer is not restricted to work only at site or only at head office. There are a n number of windows which are open as an opportunity for any civil engineers. So here, I mean, from the conceptual drawings, pre-bid process, from sanctioning process, from possession of the land, there are every activities has a different department and a different team of people. So every team, whatever windows you show here, every window has a civil engineer required to operate every windows. You can see. Okay, so even a conceptual drawing process, there is civil engineer required. So what for? Because if you take any projects, we have to design the projects, we have to take the help of the consultant, and we have to conceptualize the project, and the pre-bid process also we have to. I mean, pre-bid process means the estimation, costing, and making the tender drawings and tender documents also. That is the pre-bid process. All the civil engineer required. Sanctioning process, award of the tender. And sanctioning process also very tedious process. There is also required a lot of you must know a lot of bylaws. Architect and engineers are required together to handle this department. You have to prepare the drawings and you have to prepare the documents according to the bylaws and get the approvals from the various authorities from the various departments. Possession of the land. This is also one department where civil engineer is required again, because according to the drawing, according to the demarcation, you have to go to site, make the survey, take the position of land. You have to check the survey, and physical survey also you have to do at site. And preliminary mobilization. Again, this is one very basic activities required initially at site. You have to plan the complete mobilization. You need again a civil engineering team, and the team which is required for the execution of the project may not be available during that time, but there are a different team or set of the civil engineers who required to plan site for the mobilization. That includes barricading, stop allocations, and site mobilization, logistic, and compliance of labor laws. Every window you see, every window is important. Every window has one department in our organization. See, any professional organization you go, all the windows have a different department and different set of people, set of civil engineer team is working for that departments. So detailed checking of the project estimation. Estimation is also very important. Why we are talking all these things? Because we wanted to know the opportunity of the opportunities for the civil engineer in construction, engineering, and infrastructure. Construction, engineering, infrastructure is not limited to site. It is again required a lot of the back office work required from the head office or from the any other offices. So that's why I have mentioned in detail setting of the buildings. Once you do the estimation, and in our organization also we have more than 25 people who are working in estimation department. Setting of the building and checking at site. Again, civil engineer team requires for the setting of the building and checking. Then royalty charges, the verifying the detailed estimation at site, kick-off meeting, appointment of contractors. This appointment of contractor also require one big civil engineering department. That is called contracts department. That contract department basically what they do, they select the contractors who is capable. They have to go, they visit their sites, they see their work, they see their quality, they see their capacity, they analyze their overall performance, and they appoint the contractors. In our organization, as a corporate organization, we also have more than 20-25 people who is working in contracts departments. Because it is a lot of work. This department, I mean, nobody knows this kind of a department also there in any construction organization. So this is one opportunity where you can do more precise study in estimation, costing, understanding the contracts, bylaws and all, and so that you can get absorbed in this kind of a department. Micro scheduling of the project. Again, this is a one big department in the planning department. Again, planning department also in our small organization, we have more than 20-25 people in planning department. Whereas they do the planning, they do scheduling, they monitor, they do ERP, they do estimation, they do loading in a ERP and monitoring the ERP systems. and getting EMIs from the systems every month or whatever required. The requisition of the material. There is one department called the procurement department, so which is a huge department in any organization. Procurement department again will require engineering material skills and procurement skills. For that, requisition of the material, receipt of the material, issue of material, all this kind of process can be dealt by that department, where all the civil engineers can work in that department. The induction of the laborers. Nowadays, there is a lot of safety requirement is there at site. There are the bylaws in any authority. You have to maintain the safety at site. So there is a safety called safety department. Earlier, there was not a safety department kind of a thing at our site. But now, since the bylaws is also there and there is a need, because there's a lot of high-rise buildings are being constructed everywhere, a lot of complications are there in the construction industry. So safety is very important. So safety department itself is a very, very big department in any organization. At every site, there are 3-4 safety people working at site. Then their heads and their heads are also monitoring, and even safety at site is being monitored from the head office through systems. We have safety apps. Through safety apps, we can monitor what kind of a safety is being maintained at site, what are the records is being maintained, and it is recorded at site. So all these can be managed by safety department. It's a huge department. Again, they require a lot of staff. Then GFC drawing, sanction drawing, footings, puja commencement, all again this require design and drawing and design department. From drawing and design department, every drawing from the various consultants is gathered together. It is checked at head office level by the civil engineering team and sent to the site. It has not been sent directly by the consultant because there is a specific requirement from the management side, and according to the project definition, what is finalized well in advance, whether the drawing is according to the definition or no, that is checked at that by that department. Again, there is a huge requirement of the civil engineering and architects in that particular department. Then training is also very important in our construction industry, because every tender has a different specification, every tender has a different methodology. So, and there are the n number of activities happening at site. There are many engineers who are working at site but may not have worked for that particular activities. So training to that particular activity is being given, maybe monthly, weekly, daily, according to the schedule of the trainings. That is also one big department, training department. In our organization, more than 15, 16 people are there who are just giving the training to the people for the various activities according to the need of the project and need of that particular activity. Then execution again is being handled by the entire execution team at site. Execution at different projects is being handled according to the SOPs developed by the top management. Every company has a different kind of SOPs, and of course technical monitoring and technical execution, technical parameters are more or less same, but the methodology may be different for the various organizations. So SOPs are prepared in the organizations, and according to the SOPs, whether work is being carried out or no, that is being monitored by the execution team at site. What happened?
Side thing is also same.
Sorry, there was an interruption. Then evaluation of the project progress is also being done by one planning and planning department from the head office. Evaluation and conducting exam for all site and head office staff. This is also very important department in our organizations. See, most of the construction organization just they are busy in execution, and engineers are also busy in execution because every project, most of the project are to be completed in a target time. That's why engineers are busy, but taking out some time from the routine work and preparing for some training. And even training doesn't stop there, but we as a corporate organization conduct the exam also. Quarterly exam we conduct. Every quarter we take one written exam from every engineers of various categories, and we evaluate their performance through exam, and we also give the training according to his need. If some engineer is not good enough in managing the plastering or managing the RCC work, then we analyze from the his result or performance, and then we set a training for him for the further betterment. There are a lot of other clean checking and other in-process checking activities. In-process checking activities for the material and labor. Then physical test of material, laboratory test. This is also one big department at any site. Every site has a quality control lab. Every quality control lab has, every project has a 2-3 engineering team who checks for the materials materials coming at sites. They verify, they check for the quality. They check cement, steel, and other theoretical test also at site is being done. Then the billing, contractors bill, then mock drill, then installation of services. Every window has a scope and opportunity for every civil engineer to develop and to develop specialization in particular that activity, handing over keys to the marketing department position to units holder. So why I am explaining this process, because this is the complete process of any construction, and every process has some kind of opportunity for the civil engineer to get into and to do the specialization. Then he can perform better. If he's only pure civil engineer and if he's working for the estimation department, he may not perform perfectly. He has to take some kind of a training, small training. That's why I request Symbiosis management also to take some kind of a specialized courses, small courses for 3 months or 6 months or maybe a year for the estimation, then drawing study, or maybe MEP or planning or different activity specialization. So if we give the training for the 6 months or 3 months to these people, they will be specialized and they can be accommodated in these windows. Otherwise, as a pure civil engineer, they may not be perform better, and so they will lose their confidence in future. I think this is self-explanatory. Every civil engineer has to be very precise in studying the drawing and understanding and put their brilliant thoughts in execution. Any kind of activities blindly you cannot do. If you do blindly, this is the result. When we are talking about the opportunity, yeah, there is a lot of opportunity. I mean, recently I was discussing with the team of the Symbiosis directors. So admissions in the civil engineering, civil engineering courses are not very encouraged by students or by the maybe parents. I don't know, by the industry. I don't know. But in general, if you see all India level, about 168,000 students are passing out every year. It is projected by the year 2022 that Indian construction industry will require 248,000 skilled civil engineers as per the year per year. We need approximately 4 million civil engineers in next 10 years to fulfill the booming potential of the real estate space and plant infrastructure. So from this figure, you can see that there is always shortage of the civil engineers. When we are talking opportunity, there is opportunity always there, already there. There is always shortfall in civil engineering field. So I mean, one should encourage that one can take a civil engineering courses and do better in their career. Here is the chart explaining the salary of a civil engineer employee at various stages of the career. Just now I told you because there is not a specific encouragement to take the admission in civil engineering courses. Why? Because there's a huge difference of salaries in other sectors like IT. Other sector means only IT. When you compare with the salaries of the IT engineers, but everybody cannot be IT engineers. Yeah, I know there is a salary difference. There is a huge salary potential in IT sector, but same cannot be in every field. So in civil engineering, yes, you can get a salary because most of the civil engineering jobs are in private sectors, and private sector salaries are completely based on the performance, your individual performance. So when you say individual performance, so what kind of a performance? Everybody is civil engineer, everybody is graduated. Then why there is a difference in performance? There is a difference. If you are specialized in particular activity, suppose you take a one course for the management, project management, and if you are civil engineer, you are executing the project at site, and if you have some knowledge of project management, definitely you will perform better. And according to the performance, your salary will be increased. And here some statistic was given, okay, what kind of experience and what kind of salary. This blue line shows a very normal engineer. He is not ambitious. Then the second line is a better engineer who is trying to upgrade himself. And third line, at green line, is like a excellent engineer who all wanted to be excellent in his field, in his performance. That's why his salary level is shoot up like IT engineers.
Line, giving no slack, none. That's the discipline. And it is hard. And if there's one thing I would say that does make it easier, envision what it feels like when you're done. When they're done, they feel good. Contrary to that, envision what you will feel like later when you let the discipline slide. Ask yourself which one of the is when the thing is done, when the discipline is implemented. So
it is not easy, but it is worth. It is worth taking efforts to be a good civil engineer. So when you come out of the college, there is always fear that what I will do at site because I don't have any kind of experience at site. So beyond your fears, there is some opportunity. Beyond your insecurities, insecurity of the job, you feel, okay, I'm not performing well, so what about my job? So beyond your insecurities, definitely there is some scope. Beyond your uncertainties, there is some scope of improvement. Beyond your comfort zone, definitely if you go beyond your comfort zone, there is a great opportunity. You should overcome the shortcomings. I know everybody is not the same intelligent person. Everybody is not physically also fit same for the execution at site. So whatever the shortcomings are there, whether that particular subject, what kind of a subject, because I have shown a lot of windows. In that windows, if you are working with a particular windows, maybe it's a planning department, maybe it's a design and drawing department, you should have a definitely knowledge in that particular activity or particular department. Everybody is a civil engineer, but what kind of a specific knowledge or additional knowledge you have to handle that department more efficiently, that is being monitored by the top management. That's why whatever the shortcomings are there, you should study, you should take some kind of courses, you should talk to your seniors, you should understand, you should do some reading. So that's why you can overcome the shortcomings. Nothing is easy at the beginning, but it's only the beginning. Everything becomes easy once you realize it can be overcome with a little efforts. Believe in yourself and you will be unstoppable. From this video, what do you see? What you learn from this video? you learn that there is no shortcut in construction. You cannot have shortcut. If you try to do shortcuts, you will reach late. You will not be able to complete the construction in time. So whatever is the process and system set in SOP, you should follow the same. You should go according to the SOPs, what is there. If you do according to the SOP, you will reach earlier. So that is what this video shows. In civil engineering, when you say opportunity, there are a lot of opportunities. As already I mentioned, there is all kind of departments in your organizations, and every department has some kind of opportunity for civil engineers. Yesterday, our finance minister declared the budget for the infrastructures. So road and highways, about 1.18 lakhs crore for road and highways budget our finance minister declared. Their main focus is on NHAI, toll roads, airports in 2-tier and 3-tier cities, sports stadiums. Then Bharatmala project is total length about 1300 kilometer, 5.35 lakhs crore is the budget. Already awarded length is 3.3 lakhs crore and already completed is 1.50 lakhs crore. See, this kind of infrastructure budget is given by our finance minister in this budget also this year. And definitely this will boost entire infrastructure industry. And of course, there will be a lot of opportunity will be generated for any kind of civil engineer, because huge number of staff required is the Bharatmala project. So we are also part of this project. We have taken recently, we were handling building and other projects so far. But now from this year, why I'm telling you this, because infrastructure was completely new for us. I mean, particularly road work. So we have taken the challenge to complete one part of this Bharatmala project, about 26 kilometers in just 2 years. I know that project is about more than 3.5 years, but the timeline for that project is 2 years, and this is completely new for us. It is just 26 kilometer patch, but more than 103 structures are there, including one big flyover crossing the big highway, one railway overbridge, and one 2.7 kilometer bridge crossing the irrigation dam. So this kind of challenge we have taken. Why? Because we know our team is very strong, and construction industry basically believes in a teamwork, like cricket. The success of the cricket is only on the teamwork. The same success of the cricket is with the teamwork. So we believe in our teamwork. So that's why we've taken this project. So there is no fear in mind. There was a fear, but now since we have taken this challenge, we have studied, we have analyzed it, and we saw there is a lot of opportunity in this sector, in infrastructure sector. That's why we have got into the infrastructure sector, and now we are on it. So National Highway Corridor proposed in 2022, award length is 8,500 kilometers. National Highway projects, Assam 500 kilometers, about 19,000 crore in progress. Tamil Nadu 1.03 lakhs crore budgeted. Kerala 65,000 crore budgeted. West Bengal 25,000 crore budgeted. So why I am showing this, because yesterday only this budget has declared, and this has created more number of opportunities for any civil engineers. There's a lot of metro projects happening all over country. Metro Light, Metro new concept for 2-tier and 1-tier and 2-tier cities have already been declared by the Prime Ministers. Railways 1.1 crore to be provided for Indian Railway budget, Indian Railway this year. Utilities about 1.47 lakhs crore. Rural infrastructure development is about 40,000 crore. So earlier, when you say infrastructure, it was moving with very slow speed. If you compare with the 2015-16, the awarded work was this much, and the actual constructed work was this much. So see the difference. If you see this graph, the 2015-16 and 2018-19, it has come reverse now. The awarded work is smaller and actual constructed work is much higher. So when you can see from this graph what kind of the speed is taking infrastructure, I mean, it is taking. So with this kind of a speed, definitely our country's infrastructure will move fast, and this industry will come boost, and that's why a lot of opportunities will be created for every person in construction industry or infrastructure, mainly civil engineers when we are talking about. So same thing, investment in road sector also is huge. As a civil engineer, I would like to advise you, here you have to take the responsibility. When we are talking about the teamwork, so even if you are doing something wrong, you can say, yes, I have done wrong. You cannot show the fingers to the other team members, he has done wrong, that's why I failed. In cricket team, even if some expert cricketer, expert batsman, and is out at zero, nobody point out fingers except public. But their team people, they don't point out finger to him, ki you out on zero, because he also knows, ki, I can also out sometime, I can also get out on zero. So that kind of teamwork and team spirit should be there in our construction industry, construction team, and you should take the responsibility of good and bad. So this is the example. So government also has a projected capital expenditure in infrastructure, energy about 24%, road about 19%, urban development about 16%, and railways about 13%. The huge budget government has given in every sector. Now, our Prime Minister Narendra Ji Modi has recently declared Atmanirbhar projects. So they have given a lot of good budgets and good incentives for Atmanirbhar projects from this year. And Atmanirbhar projects means overall growth, every industry, whether it's a chemical industry or medical industry or pharma or any kind of industry or small industry in rural areas. So all these kind of industry definitely will give good boosting by the central government for the funding or any kind of a discount and any kind of facility. And every industry need a foundation, and that foundation is created by you all as a civil engineer. So whatever development is happening in the country, whether it's infrastructure development or chemical industry development or any kind of a development or any development or housing development, civil engineers work is there, and their work starts from the civil engineer only. So opportunity for the civil engineers is huge. But at the same time, nowadays, slowly, there is a lot of improvement happening in government sectors also for the quality work. See this kind of a picture you can see now in some places, but I believe now as a civil engineer, it is our moral responsibility that this kind of picture should not be shown again on any kind of a media, because we as a civil engineer are responsible for any kind of a quality construction in public sectors or in private sectors. Government also has given good promotion for the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, PMAY. This scheme is an initiative provided by the Government of India, which aims at providing affordable housing to the urban poor. This initiative has a mission to provide housing for all by 2022. So government is very aggressively moving on this Yojana, and most of the places that this work is being carried out, and by 2022 government has a mission to give the housing for everyone. So this is also one very big sector, because there's a lot India is a highly populated country, and to meet the requirement of the housing, government needs to do the lot of housing and lot of constructions, and thus the opportunities for every civil engineer has been created in this field also. Under this scheme, affordable houses will be built in selected cities and towns using eco-friendly construction methods for the benefit of the urban poor population in India. Also, under the credit-linked subsidy scheme, beneficiary under PM Awas Yojana are eligible for interest subsidy if they avail a loan to purchase or construct a house. Secondly, the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana also giving a lot of good boost for development in rural areas. Close to 57,000 kilometer roads will be built with a total cost of about 19,000 crore. That apart, NHAI would target to award projects for around 23,000 kilometer with a total outlay of around 62,000 crore. So The engineers from the rural area also will get a good opportunity to join to work under this kind of work, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. There also huge number of engineers, engineering team required, and thus the opportunity is generated in this. So challenges faced by the construction industry due to COVID-19. Yeah, everybody is aware about this. This since last about 8-9 months, we construction industry was almost slow down. It's almost standstill for the reason COVID-19. I mean, the March and June 20 property transaction dripping to near to a zero. Some of the looming challenges: supply chains, migration of the labors, cost overruns, liquidity constraints, and cost of supply of material is increased. So, because this industry was almost standstill for 8-9 months, now this time has come because government has also budgeted good facility for the real estate development. Now, recently, this UDCPR, Unified Development Control and Promotion Regulation Rule, has published. This is giving a good relief to the promoters. No plan sanction required for the plot holders below 15,000 square feet. 10% of any layout should be earmarked for the recreational purposes. Increase in FSI by approximate about 0.6. Relaxation in height of the building. There's a lot of good facility or good relaxation given in real estate business. This will give the good boost to have more and more projects. Everybody will definitely look for starting the projects under this relaxation and getting the benefit. So this will also give the good opportunity for civil engineers to get into this real estate industry for their job. At the same time, this home buying nowadays become affordable because RBI has reduced the repo rate about 4%, making borrowing cheaper for home buyers. Consequently, home loan interest are also as low as 6.95%. And government has also given during this COVID time the stamp duty, which earlier it was 5%. Now it has reduced to the 3%, and again it has come to the 3.5%. So that will also give good boost. If you see the statistics of the registration and buying of the flats in last 3-4 months, so it has crossed the, the limit. I mean, the kind of the registration what has happened in this last 2-3 months is so it was much better than before COVID also. So this definitely shows the kind of the business what real estate people will be doing, and thus the opportunity for the civil engineers will be generated through this. So opportunity for the engineering team. As I already mentioned, there is a huge opportunities in any good professional organization. Any professional organization have a various departments in like our small organization. So we have more than 200 civil engineers working in our head office, and about 700 people are working at site. So in the proportion, if you see the 200 people working at head office for what? They are civil engineers. They are supposed to be at site, but no, there are n number of back office working is required, like sanctioning department and estimation department, sanctioning department, design and coordination department. So these kind of a work, why I am mentioning, because any students, they must know okay, what kind of work is there in the head office also. If we do some kind of a specialized course or some kind of a special study to get into this department, so that they can get a better job opportunity also head office and any other offices to monitor the execution at site. Then pre-tendering department, post-tendering, in pre-tendering, suppose new tenders, inquiries, company profile presentation, pre-qualification documents, site visits, pre-bid meetings, study of BOQs, preparation of costing and submission of tender, negotiation and final meeting. And this kind of work requires complete team. In our organization also, more than 20-25 people are working for the pre-tendering and post-tendering department. Post-tendering department also preliminary budget, create WBS of the projects, loading of approved estimation, monthly review of the projects, variance report with respect to client bill versus estimation versus actual expenses, pro forma invoice, tax invoice, subcontractor billing, MIS reports. And most of the organization, professional organization nowadays using the ERP system in the organization, which controls the all projects from the head office for all kind of a transaction happening in the projects, whether it's a material transaction, whether it's a labor transaction, whether it's a fund management, whether it's a budget management, everything can be planned and ascertained from the head office itself through the ERP system. So most of the organization is going through ERP. So ERP is also one big area of the opportunity where you all can learn through maybe some courses of the ITs or whatever, so that you can, you can get into that department and study the requirement of the organization, and accordingly you can make your career in that department. Procurement department, contract department. In procurement, also vendor, supply management, quotations, purchase orders, machinery equipment management, shuttering material management, scrap management. There is huge, scope in the purchase department also. In our organization also, more than 17, 18 people are there in only procurement department. Contract department, again, same strength is there. Contractor management, quotations, work orders, scrutiny of bills, labor resource management, labor compliance and statutory requirements. MEP department also huge potential in MEP department. Though you are a civil engineer, but you can study little bit of about the MEP, because all the services required in the building, in our courses also, civil engineering courses, we know a little bit of about electrical, mechanical, plumbing, and air conditioning. Everything we know from our course, during our course. So with that knowledge, you can further develop and get into the MEP department of any organization, whereas a huge scope is there in MEP. IT department, again, all kind of ERP and ITs are managed from this department. All kind of sites will be managed from the IT department through their systems. And there are other department also: land, legal, finance, accounts, audit, sales and marketing, CRM, business development. Even other people, those who are not interested in civil engineering, though they have taken the course, because I know since I think last about 5-6 years before, even if you are civil engineer, used to take some kind of IT training and used to join the IT industry. So that kind of trend was there before, maybe 10 years back. Even if you are civil engineers, you know something about land or some legal background you have, or some finance and account background or knowledge you have, you can get into this kind of department. If you see this ad, this is our recent ad. It has come in newspaper last month only, 20th January. See what is written. An excellent opportunity for deserving, quality, conscious, experienced civil engineer and support team. An excellent opportunity. Every organization wants civil engineer to come to the organization as an opportunity, because there is a lot of opportunity, a lot of opening of the different positions in various organizations. Here also we are aiming same. An excellent opportunity for deserving, quality conscious, experienced civil engineer and support team. Civil engineers and support team. Support team is also equally important in our industry. It's not supporting with a civil engineering background. Supporting, suppose estimation is a support team. Planning is a support team. Purchase is a support team. So they are support team. Support team also, civil engineers can also get the positions in support team. Like engineering team, quality assurance engineers, estimation and billing engineers, contracts tendering managers, MEP and planning estimation engineer, MIS executive. What is MIS executive? MIS executive who operate the ERP and who analyze the overall budget, who analyze the progress, who analyze the overall project profitability. So that kind of people also, they are also civil engineer having some planning and project management knowledge. So they can get absorbed in this kind of a department, the MIS department. MEP draftsmen, surveyors, safety officers, safety supervisors, store managers, purchase officer, construction machinery manager, shuttering and scaffolding manager, construction equipment mechanics, machinery supervisor, shuttering foreman, MIS executive. Here, you will not see civil engineer written anywhere. You will not see project manager or construction civil engineer or construction manager written anywhere. These are all the people, but everybody is supposed to be a civil engineering graduate. So this is what it is expected from this ad. So you can see the recent this ad was published last month only, and you can see in the kind of a still in this COVID situation also, this kind of opportunity are there in our small organization. But you can imagine the kind of the big organization like L&T, Shapurji and Shirke and big organization, they also will have the same kind of opportunities for civil engineers. My students, friends, don't you get inspired from this video? Again, complete Indian construction. Already done. It is not proposed. All construction, what you see in this video is already done, and this is done by civil engineers from India. Proud ourselves being a part of the civil engineering or part of this civil engineering for construction industry. I know initially it is tough to become a civil engineer, but once you progress in your professional career, you will definitely enjoy. And the kind of this kind of monument structures what you create, and it lasts for years and ages. Definitely yourself feel proud to be a civil engineer. So huge opportunity in civil engineering in our country only. You need to go to any other countries for a job or any kind of a job opportunities. We have enough. Rather, we are less. We have enough opportunity for any kind of a civil engineer in various sectors. And I'm proud that, and I'm waiting for come and join our professional organization, our kind of a professional organization as a engineer. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for giving and for listening me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It looks like we have covered and addressed to all the ambiguities and worries which students are facing in these tough times. So initially, after COVID, when all the sites were on halt and students were trying to change their mind, who were waiting for so long, did diploma in construction industry. So they were about to go for bachelorate, but somehow things were wondering and they were, getting worried. Is there any scope? So I also had a similar view for the student that when the students who are right now in final year, when they took admission in the first year, they did not know what is going to happen after 4 years. So similarly, based on today's condition, students should not decide what will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, for construction industry, like Sir said, tomorrow is a beautiful day for construction industry. So we should believe on experience. We should believe on the words which Sir has said, and there's always a go ahead in construction industry. So with this, I think we have addressed to all the ambiguities. Dr. Janvi Inamdar, our director of the department, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm
So
here.
we would like to give an opportunity to say thank you, sir.
Okay. Before that, are are there any questions? Are we taking questions, Samir?
Yeah, yeah.
Because of time limitations, ma'am, we have collected the questions, but right now we are
Okay.
not going ahead with the Q&A session.
Okay. Okay. No issue. So I thank Dr. Jagdish Hote sir, and his presentation was elaborate, and his practical knowledge is amazing. Actually, for so many number of years, he has spent in this, and he actually has motivated you all, because nowadays people are having doubts because of this CSIT branches and all, but civil or construction is the major branch. It was the first branch actually in engineering field. Civil was the first before mechanical, electrical, ENTC, everything. So this is evergreen branch, and you all are fortunate to be in this field, and you all are fortunate that you got the guidance from Dr. Jagdish Hote sir. I wish to thank him from bottom of my heart. Thank you, sir. Thank you for spending time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. So for all the audience, thank you. It's been great that you all were here. We appreciate that you have taken time to listen to our webinar. And if you have not gone through our website, please go and visit www.sspu.ac.in. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you the next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
When you walk through our door, what is it that you will find? An immaculate campus. Yes. State-of-the-art student facilities. Sure. Architecturally triumphant infrastructure. Definitely. Most importantly, you will find me just like you, trying to sail through the world. Wouldn't you like to join us in this spectacular ship? We are sure to go places. Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, Kevley.